One. Okay, welcome back to part 3 of how to tap into the powerful you. In this portion, we are going to talk about what to do when no one is looking. And this has a lot to do with your power. Yeah, I mean, this is huge because a lot of people, they don't have power because they don't honor, we just talked about integrity. They don't honor their word. They don't keep the integrity with themselves. We always talk about having integrity with other people, but we never talk about the integrity we have with ourselves because, you know, we say our word is our bond with other people because other people are looking, right? Yeah. But how does it show up when nobody is looking? Are you powerful then? Or are you in the victim mode trying to pretend like you're the hero? So this portion, we want to talk about what it looks like when no one is looking. And this is the part where you start to take the hero's journey. This is the part I love. The hero don't need nobody to be looking. They the ones that's like working on themselves and not saying nothing. You know what I mean? They are challenged by themselves. So the hero, when you look at the characteristics of a hero, the hero takes full responsibility for their life. They look at it and say, you know what? I screwed this thing up. And then they declare, today is a new day. And today is the day I'm going to get my shit together. And then you take off and you start making powerful choices for who? For you.
For yourself.
For yourself. Where you say, you know what? I'm no longer blaming other people. I'm no longer saying, oh, it's because I got kids and I'm a single mom. That's the reason why I can't get my stuff together and these kids are holding me back. No, it's the story that you tell that's holding you back.
Yeah.
You know? So a lot of your life is lived out of a story. And the story is the story of your life. And it's the story that you really don't tell. It's the part of, you know, what you do when nobody's looking. So that's part of your story of how do you show up for yourself, right? Do you fail yourself or do you come through for yourself, right? So, okay, nobody's looking. Do I go to the gym or do I not go to the gym? You know, it looks like, oh, I'll go tomorrow because ain't nobody holding you.
Nobody's holding you accountable.
Nobody's holding you, right? Nobody's holding you to your word.
Exactly. So you don't want to you don't want to do whatever you're trying to accomplish based on somebody watching you. You want to do it because that's what you want to do.
Right. But how do you do it when you don't want to do it?
You have to be accountable.
How do you be accountable when you don't want to be accountable? That's the problem we all face. Yeah. How do we be accountable when we don't want to be accountable? And that's the thing about Go Life Coach. That's the wonderful thing about Go Life Coach is Go Life Coach does have systems in place to help you with that until you're strong enough to stand on your own 2 feet. So we have a portion called Game Changers, and Game Changers is an accountability group.
Yep.
Where we show up and we hold ourselves accountable to each other, because when we're in a space of we know what we need to do, but we can't get there, which is a lot of people find themselves in that space of, okay, I know I need to work out. I know my health is bad. I know I should be eating better, but how do I do that when I don't want to really do that, which is the form of resistance we were talking about, right? Because it takes a concerted effort. It takes energy, right, to do that. So if you're giving all of your power to the story of why you can't, right, then you can't, because your whole life is derived from the thoughts you have in your mind, right, which then become the action, which is, if I can't do it, then guess what? You ain't gonna do it. Yep. If you say, I can't do it, whatever reason that may be behind it, then guess what? It's not gonna happen. As much as you may want it to, it's not gonna happen. It's not until you really start speaking life to yourself that it happens. And that's one of the characteristics of a hero. The hero will always speak life to themselves and to others.
Yes, that is so true.
You have more to say about that?
Yeah, it's you know, the more you become accountable to yourself, the more the hero shows up in your life. each and every time. Even if remember we talked about the unconscious mind, which is the ego. It's comfortable being in a negative space of you don't have to do this and you shouldn't do that, or no, you're good, you don't have to work on that. So you have to resist that, give up the resistance to what the ego is suggesting, and be accountable for what you said you were going to do and how
But the
you say.
ego is so powerful.
Yes.
The ego is so convincing. The ego is so cunning. The ego is so like it's defensive, but it's convincing because it's like, well, you worked out Monday, you could take a day off, right? Well, you worked out the day, you can have a piece of cake if you want to. You just burn it off. You deserve that cake. You deserve, that ice cream or whatever it is you said you didn't want to have, like it's so convincing because it'll play on you,
Exactly. So that's why experiencing a group like Game Changers is very beneficial, because we know that those types of thoughts are reoccurring. They will come to you every single day. And you've already stated for yourself, you took a stand for yourself, and you said, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be, and this is how I want to be. But these thoughts are coming in there. We can be a stand for anyone who is struggling with that. And even though that we're not perfect, we still struggle with that as well. So it's good to be with like-minded thinkers in an environment where everyone is working on themselves. And for the purposes of this video, we're talking about what you are doing when no one else is looking.
Exactly.
So in a part of the group, knowing that, we all become vulnerable to the ego, those thoughts that sabotage what we said the goal was that we wanted to reach. But if you have a support system, to help you through that, or be a stand for you through those processes, then I think people can meet that goal. I know that I have personally, and it's not that I don't have those thoughts. I'm human. But I'll be like, oh, no, we're not doing that today. No, let me get on up.
Yeah, most people, they're looking for you to fail because they're basing it off of their own limitations of what they would do.
Exactly.
Right. So when you're looking to have someone hold you accountable, you want somebody who's in it to win it with you. That's not going to let you off the hook. That's not going to buy into your excuses. That's not going to buy your bullshit. Right. So you want someone who is going to be a stand for you in the direction that you're heading. But the one thing is, you have to be clear on where you're heading, right? Most people, they know they want a better life. They don't know what that looks like because they never thought it was possible before. And then they meet us and we're like, hey, it's possible, right? Now, what does that look like? If it was to show up, would you even know? And we find that most people don't have a clear picture of what they want their life to look like. And then when they do, they put limitations on it. So I run into people like this all the time. They're like, oh, I want to lose weight. And then they'll be like, I'll be picturing them as a supermodel. Yeah. And they'll be like, and they'll be like, well, I only want to lose 20 pounds, but they be like, 400 pounds. Because they never could see that they could lose weight to be a supermodel. It's not even in their realm of thinking. They've never seen themselves as beautiful. They've never seen themselves as skinny. They don't even think it's possible. So then they meet us and we take them into the land of possibility, saying, okay, if it's possible for somebody else, it's possible for you too. It's only the things that stop you that's preventing that from happening. So what if we were to take all the stops away? We take all the brakes off. What would happen then, right? And then they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, this woman is off her rocker. So
I'll be honest, when that statement was first posed to me, I was like, okay, what is this gonna cost me?
Right.
What the hell is this person trying to sell me?
Right.
I don't see that. I
on you, which is
did, yeah.
yeah,
Like, and at the end of the day, the cost is you investing in yourself
exactly.
and having a support system that is standing for you and the
Exactly.
success of the things you said you wanted in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that we do use anything we can as a barrier to get there. So the first thing we'll throw up is I don't have no money. Work with that. We'll be like, all right, cool, let's
Uh-huh.
work with it.
The next
Let's
time,
see what you do
oh,
next.
I don't have time to do that. I don't have no
Right, yeah,
time to.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. All
Yeah,
right, we
exactly.
create a space where they can show up at the time that they're
Right.
supposed to show
Exactly.
up.
And it's still
And
because
the
they don't
next
want
thing
to do
is,
it.
yeah, the next thing comes is like, oh, I couldn't do it today. I didn't. I
So,
was sick. Or
yeah. So what's my famous line? My famous tagline is when you lose your excuses, you will find your results.
yeah,
You say you want these things, but you're not willing to do what it's going to take to get those things. And you think I don't know that, right?
yeah,
Like I know, right? I know, right? I've seen it all, right? Then here they come with their bullshit ass excuses. So guess what? You get to keep your excuses and your fat ass. You get to keep
there you
that.
go.
That's the booby prize.
Mhm.
That's the prize.
Yeah.
And you're doing it to you because somebody, who was I talking to the other day? And they were like, they were like, oh, I don't have time. I said, guess what? If I told you right now I was holding $1 million and I was going to give it to you, you would make time with you.
Mhm.
So you're not worth $1 million, right? If I told you I was holding $2,000 for you, you would show up and get it with you. You would make
$5.
time,
They'll
huh?
come for $5.
Yeah,
They'll show
exactly.
up for $5
Yep.
if they
Yep.
feel
They
that
will.
that's a benefit for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's what's in it for them, but they
Right.
can't see to their point of what's in it for
Right.
them. What's in it for them, okay, is more vitality, more health, reshaping their view of the world and how they see
Mhm.
themselves. That's what's in it for them. But they're so busy looking at how is this person going to get me that they can't get to themselves, you know?
Right.
So the thing is, even if I was charging $5,000, if I can guarantee you the results, it would be worth it. You
Yeah.
know, I used to work as a business coach, but I still do.
Right. Mhm.
And so I had one guy, I was charging $5,000, and he was like, oh my God, like, right. And then in the end, he made like 250. I said, really, I deserve a huge fucking tip for that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? The return that you got exceeded your goal, and you were bitching about $5,000. You
Yeah.
wanted to let $5,000 stand in the way of you making $250,000. You
Mhm.
know, like that's how we block ourselves. So then in the end, and I always say you're gonna hate me in the beginning, but you'll love me in the end. In the beginning, he thought I was crazy. He didn't want to do anything I told him to do, right? And then it was like, and he did it begrudgingly. Then over time, things got easier, and then his business expanded and it blew up. We had to basically what we had to do was tear his whole old business down because it
Yeah.
wasn't working. We had to completely dismantle that thing and then restructure it. Restructured it, put in the money that he was looking for, bam, eternally
Mhm.
grateful. But he was in the beginning willing to let $5,000 get in the way. Now, the funny thing is he had it. It wasn't that he didn't have it. He had it. You know what I mean? So that most of the time we do have it. We could find a way to get it. The thing is, if we could find a way to get $200 sneakers with
Mhm.
people who get a welfare check, right? How is that possible? Because we
Yeah.
pay for the things that we find value in. So if you don't believe that this has value because you can't see it, then you won't go after it. So now where's the value at? The value's in you. So now you got to turn it around and look and say, I do hold value. I am worth it.
Mhm.
You know, once you get to that point, then you gain everything.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting the things that
Mhm.
block us because we don't see value in ourselves. We're not willing to invest in ourselves. So the other thing about the hero is determined. The hero is a positive thinker. The hero
Mhm.
has a heart for themselves and other people. The hero is willing willing to face fear. I'll tell you that fear thing is a big one. Fear
Yeah.
is like the biggest thing in our community right now. They were saying something about Facebook with the van with the people. Everybody's scared of the white van now. See, this is how control
Yeah.
happens. It's because they control you out of fear. It's this unknown fear, you know.
Right.
So now everybody's walking around fearful. When you're fearful, you can't think clearly. You know, you're not operating from a clear state of mind. You know,
That's so true.
yeah, you put limits on yourself. So watch
Yeah.
fear. You know, we're not saying be stupid. We're saying don't live your life out of fear that's not there. You know, unless somebody has a gun to your head, then it's the time to be fearful. Other than that, it's all made up. Unless the bear is chasing you down the street, right? It's all made up. It's all made up in your head. I always ask people, what are you afraid of? You know, it's funny. You know, a lot of people are afraid of success. I did not know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in that boat. I'm
Really?
in that boat. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid now. I'm not afraid now, but yeah, I was in that boat.
Yeah.
Like, what if I'm successful? Am I going to be able to handle that? Am I going to be able to manage that? Like, what will my life look like that it doesn't look like now? It was a fear.
Yeah,
You
because it's
know?
uncharted territory. It's like fear.
Uncharted territory, but the fear restrains you to playing small.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you do just enough to get
Right,
by,
right,
just enough to show something,
right.
but not enough to, really expand on a huge, huge level beyond what your imagination has even
Mm-hmm.
taken you.
Yeah.
So yeah, fear
I think
is
people had a
immobilizing.
fear. Yeah, they had a fear of because they want that comes from that comes from a mindset of lack. So the fear is, what if I make it big and then lose it all?
Yeah.
Right. So you're planning on losing it before you even made it. Before you even made the success, you then planned your demise
You already have a plan for losing it.
Yeah, you got a plan for losing.
It's the same. It works the same in like relationships, like
How about that?
relationships.
Yep, exactly.
Like I had that thing going on with me for a while too. Like you've been disappointed in a relationship, you've been hurt in a relationship because of things didn't go the way you thought that they would go, and then the next person shows up and you put them in the box of the possibility of all of that happening all over again. So things could be going smoothly, but I'm just waiting for the ball to drop.
Right. You're waiting for him to cheat on
waiting for the ball to drop because hey, he's gonna do something.
Right.
He's gonna mess up something.
Disappoint
So and then the something shows up and I'll be like, see, told you. Told you wasn't worth a dime.
Right.
Told you I was gonna get hurt. Yeah, that all of those things, yeah. It comes.
And we created it. Look, we created it right from the start.
I created the whole thing. Like the person never even was thinking that way or anything like that. So all of that comes under that umbrella of fear.
Yeah.
What will happen if it's a successful relationship? Like, is this who I really want to be with, or so you sabotage it. Like,
I think we're so conditioned to feeling bad. We all know what it feels like to feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know what it feels like to have things actually work out for us, because in the back of our mind we think it's not possible.
We say we want to feel good. We say we want all the success, but on the other flip side, you're afraid of all of those things coming in, and so therefore, when you're confronted with it, when it does show up in your life, you sabotage it.
Yeah, and that is a big one.
Yeah.
Yep. Self-sabotage.
And then you say, I don't even know why that didn't work. Because you're not being truthful with yourself about the role you played in the outcome for your life.
Yeah. And again, it's all from your subconscious.
Yep.
Okay. So now we just want to go into the next part of how do you save yourself?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, how do you save yourself? Excuse me. Yeah, I got something going on my throat. So how do you, all right, so how do you save yourself? I think we're gonna come back with the next portion of our video with that because we are at a half an hour and we said we want to keep these portions down to a half an hour so they wouldn't be so lengthy. So we're chopping each segment down to a half an hour. So we're gonna come back now on how do you save yourself, and we're gonna wrap this up on how do you, finally,
Save yourself.
how do you save yourself? Yeah, how do you get your power? Okay, all right.
Awesome.
Okay.